Welcome back. Well, back home on Dalal Street, the bulls made a strong comeback yesterday after losing for 8 straight sessions. Now, the 130-point up move on the Nifty was backed by a strong last-hour rally as crude prices had cooled off. Now, the Nifty reclaimed the 10,700 mark while the Sensex rallied more than 400 points. The broader markets too followed suit, with the Nifty Bank as well as the mid-cap index closing 1% higher. But that was about yesterday, wherein there was a lot of positive moves in the Indian markets. But today, Ekta, the cues are a bit mixed coming in from the global markets.
Yes, in fact, the cues are a little mixed when you talk about the global markets. But just to recap what you said, yesterday was important because the Nifty managed to snap an 8-day losing streak. The mid-cap index as well as the bank Nifty were in the green. And we saw an FII net buy figure which came in from the FIIs of around 713 crores. The DIIs also net bought around 113 odd crores. Now, why is this important? Is because this is the first FII net buy figure after 7 trading sessions of selling. Remember, in the past 7 trading sessions, the FIIs have net sold around 4,500 odd crores continuously. So this should come as a breath of fresh air. Now, in terms of what India is doing versus the globe, year to date, remember that there is an underperformance which is taking place. So MSCI India is down 3.5%. Compare this to MSCI Asia X Japan, which is up over 8% NASDAQ, which is up around 12% on a year-to-date basis. So I just want to put that into perspective when we talk about the kind of gains that we saw in yesterday's trading session as well. In terms of cues to watch out for today, domestically, the biggest cue will be the bank recapitalization. So the government's going to in 48,000 crores in 12 banks. While this was known, and this was a story, in fact, that cnbc TV18 had put out, this will definitely come as a boost because a lot of the banks, the hope is that they would probably exit PCA because of this. Now, in terms of the US markets, it was a choppy session. They managed to eke out some amount of gains. The Fed minutes were in fact talking a lot about the global slowdown that is probably expected, and that kind of ramification that it could have. So there was a little bit of a lack of interpretation which took place with the Fed minutes. But nonetheless, Asia is largely lower at this point in time, and that seems to be percolating down to the SGX also, which is indicating that it's going to be a soft start. Let's not forget that Brent crude is still hovering at those levels of between $66 to even $67 per barrel. So there is that little bit of an inch up which is taking place there. Other cues to watch out for: Bank Nifty options expiry, second week of the Nifty options expiry. Last week was the first one, so that'll be important to watch out for. And levels to watch for the market sustaining the 100 DMA of around 10,686. We managed to surpass that, and maybe the next port of call would be the 20 and the 50-day moving averages.
So, Ekta, you said that recapitalization is one of the most important cues for the day. So, what are the stocks you're watching out on account of that, as well as the other stocks in news?
Well, I can go on and on about it, but I'll just stick to the 2 banks which are likely to probably exit the PCA, which is Allahabad Bank and Corporation Bank. So, do watch out for those 2 stocks. TechM, we've been talking about this board meet today to consider its first ever buyback. There's also an upgrade, I think, which is coming for TechM. Dr. Reddy's, they've relaunched Suboxone generic in the US markets. Vodafone Idea, the company expects to achieve around a cumulative EBITDA of 20,000 crores in the next 8 quarters. So to put it into perspective, Q3 EBITDA was 660 crores. BPCL plans to raise 2,000 crores during this fiscal through a private placement. Moody's has changed JSW's outlook to positive, affirms all ratings. We have a couple of approvals from Sun and Glenmark, and HCL Tech also, which has won a 5-year infra and application services contract. So that stock would be in focus as well.
Okay, Ekta, thank you so much for that. We will keep an eye out on all those stocks, but it is time now for a short break on the show. But do remember, CNBC TV18 news break confirmed as the government approaches PSB recapitalization of 48,000 crore rupees. Stay tuned because we'll get you more details on that when we return.